Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of The Awesome with Cody. As usual, I'm your host, Cody, and today we are continuing September of 2021's theme of awesome new horror movies. So today we're talking about Demonic, the newest film by Neill Blomkamp of many different things. He's the writer and director of, quite a few movies that I've talked about. Not so much on here, but on the main podcast with the boys. But he's a writer-director of District 9, Elysium, Chappie, of course now Demonic, and something known as Inferno, which doesn't have a release date, and many other things. We have talked about his production studio, Oat Studios, with his brother, Michael, or Mike, I guess is really you can call him. That's what he's credited as in this movie as well. But he's a Neill Blomkamp is a South African Canadian film director, producer, screenwriter, and animator who has done the projects I mentioned earlier. And he's come back. He shot this movie during the actual pandemic, actually. So very interesting thing or a movie to make. Just in general, but also during a pandemic to make a movie is pretty nuts too. So I'm not going to go too far into detail about what the movie is about. Essentially, our main character, portrayed by Carly Pope, is actually named Carly in the movie, and she has an estranged mother that has been convicted of multiple homicides. And she hasn't seen her in many years. And one day, an old friend who she also hasn't seen in many years reaches out to her saying, "Hey, can we catch up?" And it turns out that he was contacted by this organization who has got Angela, her Carly's mother, who's in a locked-in state in a coma, and they're doing experiments on her. And Carly goes to see what this is all about, and so on and so forth. And some things happen, and I'm not going to spoil everything for you. And it goes a little further. It's basically use a technology. It's essentially a VR link between the two minds, where Carly can enter her mother's consciousness and communicate with her. Try to talk to her, try to find out if she's doing okay in this locked-in state, and then try to help her as much as possible. But really, Carly goes there to confront her mother and tell her that she hates her and that she is a miserable old lady. And some things happen, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of different things that go on. Again, I don't want to spoil anything for you, so if you want to watch it, you definitely can. It's a very interesting premise for the movie as well. There's a lot to it, which I'm leaving out. But and if you watch the trailer, they talk about a little bit of it, but this one actually has more in it as well. So it's pretty cool, pretty neato. Highly recommend checking it out. There's some pretty cool effects in it. The one thing I will say is it is a modern day Ricochet, if that helps anybody figure out anything about it, and if you do, I'm sorry if that spoils anything, but just know it's a little different, but very similar to the idea of that movie is definitely alive and well in this particular movie. It's a very spooky movie. It is not overly violent. There is some blood, but nothing outlandish, nothing like Candyman was, or even Malignant to that point. But it is, there's some violence in it, so be cautious if you're squeamish, or if not really. There's just some blood and like one little bit of scene with some stuff, but otherwise it's nothing crazy. So don't lose your mind over it. What else can I say about this? The actors in this, I didn't really know too many of them just by seeing them. Some of them have been in many things. Probably the most recognizable person in it was actually a gentleman. I can't talk at all in this. I don't know why. But he's a gentleman named Terry Chen. He is a Canadian film actor. And he has been in a lot of things, quite a few things. He was one of my favorite roles that I remembered him from was in the television show The Expanse from Sci-Fi as well as now Amazon. But he played a character in that one, which is a pretty cool character in the books as well as in the show itself. And then he was in House of Cards for one season, a handful of episodes. I don't think he was in the whole kick-a-boodle, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look here. Where did it go? I just had it a minute ago. Don't know if it says. Oh, it doesn't actually say. But anyways, he's been in a lot of different things, and I remembered him from The Expanse. But yeah, he's been in a bunch of different things. I mean, lots of 1s and 2s of episodes all over the spectrum from, I mean, here's Battlestar Galactica. Here's, let's see. Oh, he was in Continuum. That's right. I forgot about that. Arrow, Bates Motel, House of Cards, The 100. The Return, Van Helsing, The Expanse, Jessica Jones, let's see, Legends of Tomorrow. He played Genghis Khan, which is pretty rad. And then, he's in Big Sky in the pilot episode. I don't know, did that show get canceled? I can't remember. I guess I can click on and find out, but I'm not going to. And then he's been in a ton of movies. Not all of them are winners, but there are a lot of them. But yeah, so that's Terry Chan. He's probably the most recognizable person in that whole movie. I thought the movie was pretty cool. It was a very cool concept. But I'm also a big fan of the movie Ricochet, so I guess that helped quite a bit. And I love everything that Neill Blomkamp does. So maybe I'm a little biased, but I thought it was a pretty cool, just a movie itself and a concept of the movie. Some people are shitting on it, I guess. But I don't really read the reviews so much, so I'm not really giving a review. I was just telling you that I liked it, and check it out. It's available now on streaming platforms. Purchase digitally. I got it on iTunes, but I think it's available anywhere you can purchase digitally or digital content. As of the recording of this, Tuesday, September 21st, it should be available on pretty much every platform out there imaginable. I'm sure it's going to pop up on a streaming service. It is an IFC Films and IFC Midnight is one of the distribution companies that's doing it. So, I mean, check that out if you want to see it there. Like I said, it's available digitally on a lot of different things. But, yeah, I think that's about it for this episode. Check it out, Demonic by Neill Blomkamp. Available streaming now on different places you can get it, like I said a minute ago. But, yeah, that's it for me this week. Tune in next week when I forget what movie I'm talking about next week. I haven't watched it yet, obviously. And I don't have my note in front of me, so we'll come back next week. We'll talk about something else. But yeah, that's it for this episode of The Awesome C.O.D.Y. I have been your host, C.O.D.Y, and like usual, I would say at the end of these, let's be awesome.